Good afternoon and welcome to our Salford Internet Safety presentation. My name is Mrs. Kerry Patel. I'm a Year 2 teacher and also PSHE lead here at Salford. I'm joined by Miss Felicity Ball, Year 3 teacher and Salford's computing lead, and also our deputy head, Mrs. Charlie Reynolds, who's also in charge of safeguarding. So just a few aims of the session, just to look at the different ways that children can remain safe online when they're using the internet at home, to be able to explore online safety in a balanced way, to look at parental controls that you can set up at home and how to check that they are up to date on your children's apps. And we've also got some links and some videos to help you to set those up, and also how to report any incidents if there are any concerns while your child is using the internet. So the internet can be an amazing place. The use of devices can help children connect with friends, learn new skills, explore the world and more. Some children might benefit from the online space more than others as well. However, there are also risks. It's important to monitor how time online makes your child feel and how to decide how to manage this time as well.
What does your child do on the internet? There are lots of things that your child could be doing on the internet. It could be using just Chrome, it could be YouTube, it could be computer games, or it could be social media. What is a PEGI rating? PEGI rating is the video game content rating system. Age ratings are systems used to ensure that entertainment content such as games, but also films, TV shows, or mobile apps is clearly labelled with a minimum age recommended based on the content they have. These age ratings provide guidance to parents in particular to help them decide whether or not to buy a particular product for a child. Video games are enjoyed by a very diverse group of players throughout Europe. Both children and adults, men and women play games regularly, either on a dedicated game console, a personal computer, or a mobile device like a smartphone or tablet. While most games are suitable for play of all ages, others are only suitable for older children and young teenagers. Age restrictions. So Fortnite has an age restriction of 12. There is violence and weapons. This is an online game and the chat is public. This can be turned off. Roblox has an age restriction of 13. It's online again. No options to turn off public chat. So that means other people they may not know will be talking to them, could be talking to them. Open to the public. Grand Theft Auto, age restriction of 18. Violence and weapons and some sexual content. Minecraft, age restriction of 7, mild violence and public chat. And Call of Duty, age restriction of 18, violence and weapons, strong language, open to the public and can chat to public. Here is a link to find out more information about PEGI ratings on the commonsensemedia.org.
So social media. So we are aware that some of our older children at school do access social media quite a lot. Back in 2005, when social media was still in its infancy, only about 5% of users in the United States were involved in social media. However, that number has massively grown, and in 2019, it had grown to about 70%. The Pew Research Center surveyed social media usage and popularity among US adults early in 2019. And the survey found that while the most used social platforms for adults are YouTube and Facebook, teens actually prefer Snapchat and Instagram, while TikTok is reportedly becoming the fastest growing social network among younger users. Social media use is nearly universal among today's teenagers. And the Research Centre reports 97% of 13 to 17-year-olds use at least one of the 7 major online platforms. The amount of time spent on social media sites is quite astounding. One report indicates the average teenager, aged between 13 to 18, spends about 9 hours a day on social media, and tweens, and this is more our age group, of between 8 to 12, are on for about 6 hours a day. Like most things, social media does have its positives, its cautionary tales, and there can be some dangers as well that lurk and impact the lives of many, especially teenagers. Now, some of this information might seem quite targeted at teenagers, and obviously our age range at primary is a little bit younger than this. However, we're discussing it with you as we would like to have really good, established and healthy and safe habits for our children now so that they are prepared for the future when they're older. Social media and technology offer us great convenience and connectivity, and staying connected with family and friends worldwide makes this really easy through FaceTime, through WhatsApp and email, for example. Online learning is really possible now in terms of learning new skills for jobs and helps us be involved in civic engagement. Like we said, social media can be a good thing, but if teens ever feel uncomfortable about something they see or read on social media, they should trust their own feelings and talk to someone, whether that be a parent, a teacher, or another trusted adult. Bullying, threats, and cruelty on social media are all signs that the person doing those things also needs help. So why are we talking about social media being bad? So like we said earlier on, along with the good does also come some bad. So often it can be quite hard for young children to really identify what actually is reality and what isn't online. In terms of their friends that they have on social media, this can also not necessarily be someone that they physically know and a real friend. It can quite often be a stranger. Children are having increased usage, which means more time spent on social media, which can potentially lead to cyberbullying, social anxiety, depression, and exposure to content that isn't always age appropriate. Unfortunately, social media is proving to be an addiction. When you're playing a game or accomplishing a task, you seek to do it as well as you can. Once you succeed, your brain will give you a dose of dopamine and other happiness hormones making you happy. The same mechanism functions when you post a picture to Instagram or to Facebook. Once you see all the notifications for likes and positive comments on your screen, you'll subconsciously register it as a reward. But that's not all. Social media is full of mood-modifying experiences. We're aware for some of our older children, they have a fear of missing out or FOMO. And this has become a really common theme and can often lead to continual checking on social media sites, which is how those hours can pop up. The idea that you might miss out on something if you're not online can really affect your mental health. It can also lead to self-image issues. Social media sites provide tools that allow people to earn others' approval for their appearance, with body image concerns also coming later. Those selfie-aholics and people who spend most of their time posting and scrolling are the ones most vulnerable to this. In fact, most college girls who use Facebook at least 5 times a day are likely to link their self-worth to their looks. That doesn't mean that the main problem is social media. It only provides a medium for it, which further elevates the problem. It also promotes the same sort of behaviour to others as well. But like we said, there are positives and there can be some negatives as well. So here are some of the main apps and things that we hear some of our children accessing, and it's just a reminder in terms of what the minimum age requirement is for these. So for WhatsApp, it is meant to be 13 years old. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram and TikTok is also 13 years old. YouTube, 13 years old. There is YouTube Kids, which we highly recommend that our families encourage their children to use, as it is a lot safer and it has content restrictions already set on it. So please just be mindful of the age recommendations that these are given. And on this link as well, you'll be able to access WhatsApp privacy settings for you to set up for yourself. And the same with social media parental controls. Here's some just advice that you might find really useful to access to help with support for your children.
So we know that children are always curious and they always want to find out more. They are more capable than ever of navigating their way across the internet, apps, social media sites. I know when my daughter was younger, she was about 2 or 3, and she could scroll through photographs and internet better than I could do. So when children are taking part in online activities, the possibility and probability of them being exposed to inappropriate online content increases. Joining social media groups, for example, before the minimum age restrictions, playing games that are not age appropriate, and also obviously be aware of older siblings that might be able to access those games because they are old enough, and the younger siblings are also joining in, and then watching live streams of games that may not be age appropriate can affect our children in a big way.
What to do about cyberbullying? As with friendships in real life, the internet can become a place where children play out disagreements or express issues they have with each other without a full grasp of the potential consequences of what they say. Research shows that it's normally towards the end of primary school that issues of cyberbullying occur as children start using more messaging apps to talk to friends outside of school. Although it may not affect younger children as much as those in secondary school, teaching them about netiquette and how to be kind online early on can give them a good foundation to build on when they start to interact with others online.
So how can children be affected? So there's been lots of really great research recently about this, because adults that are working with children are really starting to notice a difference. So it's been proven that sleep cycles can be and are affected by blue light screens before bed. So we always encourage that children put all screens away a good amount of time before they're trying to fall asleep. Research has been found that children today can be more forgetful than an old age pensioner after playing games as well. One study has found that the more distracted you are, the less able you are to experience empathy. And children can take the violence from computer games into real life and onto the playground. And we have seen some of this in our school.
So here's just a very brief overview of what is taught at the different key stages throughout the school. Very much in Key Stage 1, talking to the children about what personal information is and what personal information should not be shared online, especially if they are in chat groups or online gaming with people that they do not know. And then moving on to Key Stage 2, where they understand a little bit more about how to keep themselves safe online, what is acceptable and not acceptable, and when to report it to a trusted adult. So in addition to our compulsory computing scheme of work, we also make sure that we interweave those ideas with the children into our PSHE and our e-safety lessons. Excuse me. We also talk about it in assemblies regularly. Mrs. Renyard, Mrs. Reynolds talk about the different sites and the different games that the children can access and whether or not these are suitable for our children. And we talk about filters and monitoring systems that the children can use at home with their families.
So keeping your child safe online, here are just a few tips that you could use at home. So setting rules for watching videos that your child and family agree with. So you come up with and agree a set of rules for watching videos. Consider setting up a supervised account. Turn on restricted mode. Apps like YouTube, you can create playlists with pre-approved videos for your children to be watching, and checking the watch history of your child on different apps. So here's just a link to how to set up parental settings. And then talk to your children. So you could have a discussion with your child about the importance of age limits and sticking to them, educating them further about the different sites they are using, reminding them not to click on anything they may seem odd, for example, adverts. Teach your child how to block and report people, videos and websites, and ask them what they do online. Educate yourself. You are then able to do your own research. So it is recommended that you follow the Children's Commissioner's Digital 5 a Day and help your children to aim for each of the targets. So the Digital 5 a Day provides a simple framework that reflects the concerns of parents and carers, as well as children's behaviours and needs. It can also act as a base for family agreement about internet and digital device use throughout both the holidays and term time. So on there it says connect. Internet allows us to maintain friendships and relationships wherever we are in the world. Important to talk to your child about what they are connecting with on the internet and who they're connecting with. It also says be active. Children should switch off and get moving. Children don't have to be an athlete to be active. Walking, swimming, dancing, all good ways to be active. The internet provides children with unlimited opportunities to learn and be creative, from learning to code, to building complex structures in Minecraft, to creating video content. The summer can be a great opportunity for children to build their digital skills. Time spent online doesn't have to be spent passively consuming content. It can be educational, creative, and can provide opportunities to build skills for later life. It also says give to others. So internet can help us to find ways to get involved with local charities and organizations. Children giving feedback about their online experience can make the internet a more positive place for everybody. We hear that children often feel pressured by the constantly connected nature of the internet. While they want to do things, it can be difficult for them to put their phones down when apps are encouraging them to engage. Being mindful about the amount of time that your child is spending online and encouraging them to be mindful about how this makes them feel is important. Encourage children to come up with ways of managing this. For example, keeping a diary as a way of logging the amount of time they're spending online, or downloading an app that helps them manage their notifications.
So where else as a parent can you go to for help and advice? So here are a couple of recommendations from us. So there is CEOP, the NSPCC, UK Safer Internet Centre, ChildNet International, Think You Know, and internetmatters.org. So where to report concerns. So if you have got concerns about something that your child has seen, then you can report this to CEOP. So some of the things that people have reported can include someone online has asked me to send them some inappropriate pictures. I did something that I was embarrassed about, and actually now that's turned a bit nasty and they're using it in a bad way. And someone might be requesting something of you. You might have that someone online has kept asking to meet a child face to face, and actually that needs to be reported. Someone could be talking to them about a really inappropriate content. And in some of the games, it might be that they've met someone and they are trying to talk to me privately, and they do not want to do that.
So thank you for your time. A very brief whistle-stop tour of things that you can do at home to help and encourage your child to be safe and understand themselves, how to keep themselves safe online. And we will send out a very brief survey via Google Forms, just to let us know if you have accessed this presentation at home, and any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.